Hey guys, welcome back. Before we get into the creative meeting and then into our third episode of Total Wrestling, I did want to go over the news because we actually had a couple major-ish events happen over the past week. One, this one's going to be big for us, I think. I hope. SWF has moved to a lesser time slot. Yeah, they're on like late night, I think now, or later evening or something. But they're obviously not getting those ratings. Now they're still beating us in the actual like show quality. By I mean a considerable amount still most weeks. Or I mean we've only had a couple episodes, but you know what I mean. Um, but yeah, that should be really big for us. So we are definitely going to try and push some TV matches out there. And then one that really impacts us, I mean, maybe not really impacts us, but just more directly is where we at on here? If I can find it. Oh my gosh. I literally had it just a second ago. Here we are. Human Arsenal is going to retire in 3 months. We kind of talked a couple of times about how we had that old guard that hasn't either retired or moved on from the company, and here is the first domino to fall. What that also means, though, is that, in a couple months' time, I'm going to start looking at somebody to maybe replace him. And he's got decent pop, so we'll definitely keep our eye out for some decent free agents to maybe swap out Human Arsenal with. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump forward into our creative meeting. All right, give the night off. Um, Mighty Mo, good old Mighty Mo, still out. Or give him the night off. Maverick, I don't think he's working, so we'll give him the night off too. Well, hold on. No, he is not working, so we'll give him the night off as well. He got real mad that first week that we left him off. God forbid, right? All right, we'll go ahead and skip forward. I am done, yes. The venue. We did Southwest the first time. We did Mid-South this last time. Where were we at? Tulsa last time. Let's move up because I kind of wanted to do Southwest for our first pay-per-view. Where are we got in Colorado? What's looking good there? Let's set almost 7,000. See what we got. I think it just makes the most sense to go with Aurora. Let's go ahead and rock that. Yes, we are going to Aurora. No pre-show incidents again. Let's go to the booking team meeting. We're at 250. Oh, we are maxed out, so let's spend some of this. I didn't realize that you could. Oh gosh, yeah, so we actually lost some on that. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and do that. Sure, let's get one. A big gamble. Okay, well then let's bank another one and maybe see if it's not a big gamble. A bit of a gamble. Aaron Andrews is set to be the victor. Interesting. Let's go. Let's do a storyline idea, and then we'll call it. Yeah, we'll call it after that. A surefire hit with no restrictions, and it doesn't expire till May. Alrighty, that is a good one. All right, let's check our stored creative ones real quick before we jump in. So we had that Troy Tornado one that expires pretty soon. I think we only have this or yeah, I don't think that's gonna work because 30 days we didn't even have 30 days when it started. This one's that surefire storyline hit. Greg Gage creative finish that's a bit of a gamble, and we also have the Aaron Andrews creative finish that's a bit of a gamble. We got the creative finish that's a big gamble, but we can use it on anybody. And then we got the angle that's a safe up bet. All right, well, it's definitely going to probably deploy some of these this week to try and pop a rating. Let's go ahead and exit out of this and see if there's any locker. We do. Jalen Martins has an idea for a finish. Cool. All right. Should we address the locker room? Let's see. No bad relationships still. No, I think we're gonna, yeah, I think we're gonna roll with it. All right, guys, it is Tuesday, the 25th of 2022, January. Here we are at Total Wrestling. We open with the ring announcer saying that our first matchup is for the TCW TV title. Marvel Malloy enters with Storm Spillane in his corner, followed by the champion Flint Slater making his entrance, seconded by both Doc Hammond and Jalen Martins. In a decent match, Flint Slater defeated Marvel Malloy in 11:50 by submission with an ankle lock. Um, Slater rushes Malloy to start things, pummeling him against the ropes. Malloy is able to stick his torso between the top and second ropes, though, and the ref breaks things up. Malloy gets out and Slater charges again, but is taken down with a quick head scissors. Slater keeps coming, but this time eats a pop-up dropkick. Slater rises to his feet again, but a springboard tornado DDT from Malloy finally keeps him down. Malloy gets a quick 1 count, but is unable to capitalize due to Doc Hammond jumping on the apron and causing a distraction. On the outside, Spillane goes to confront Doc, but is blindsided by Jalen Martins, plowing into Spillane and sending him flying across the floor. Marvel goes to check on his partner, but a now risen Slater chokes him out from behind. Malloy rolls backwards, getting a quick 1 count, but is dropped with a knee strike from Slater once they are both back on their feet. The TV champ makes ground. Sorry, guys. The TV champ takes control, grounding Malloy. Although technically sound himself, he's no match for Slater's size and striking ability. Multiple comeback attempts are cut off. Finally, out of desperation, Malloy is able to block an arm drag and nail a super kick, but Slater seems unfazed. Another super kick. Slater drops to one knee. A third, and Flynn appears dazed. Malloy goes to the well 1 times too many, though, as the fourth super kick is caught and reversed into an ankle lock. Malloy immediately taps. Good commentary. Yeah, all right match. Simmering crowd right now. 56 segment rating. We now go backstage where Bradley Blaze is being interviewed by Jason Azaria, the recently ever-present dazzling Dave over his shoulder. You've been working with Dave Diamond for a few weeks now, Bradley. What have you learned the most in that time frame? Blaze responds, telling Azaria that Diamond has helped him focus on his strengths and hide the flaws in his game. He's helping me be the best version of myself, which is why right now I am challenging Killer Shark to a match at Malice in Wonderland. Dazzling Dave fist pumps. That's what I'm talking about. If you want to be the best, you have to be bold. Nothing is ever going to be handed to you in this industry. You just have to go out and take it. Killer Shark may be big, but they say the bigger you are, the harder they fall. Let's head back to the locker room. I got an idea on how to take down that overgrown goldfish. The two start to walk off together as Jason Azaria sends us back to the commentary desk. 56. Not great on the script, not followed by Bradley Blaze, but Dazzling Dave needed his unscripted segment. Hot and rising, though. Getting the crowd up there. See if they're ready for this next promo. Kyle Rhodes lets us know that Aaron Andrews has asked for this time to address his future. Oh, I think that's our best segment yet, y'all. Oh my gosh, you don't know how happy that makes me. 84. All right. Ace makes his way to the ring, high-fiving fans along the way. Once inside the ropes, he wastes no time before beginning to speak. I know I have a match later, but there's something I need to get off my chest. First of all, it is great to be back in Aurora, Colorado. One of my first singles matches on Total Wrestling actually took place in this arena. I lost that match. He chuckles and pauses before carrying on. Last week in a different arena, well, I lost that match too. May 31st, 2020, Total Mayhem. I lost that match. That loss, though, that was the night I lost the TCW World Title to Jay Cord. That loss cost me a lot more than I knew then. I had held that belt 3 times in the 5 years up until that night, for an almost combined 3 years of being your TCW World Champion. And while I was crushed to lose that title back in 2020, I still felt like I had done everything I set out to do. Everything I could have dreamed up accomplishing in this business was miles in the rear view at that point. I thought I was a made man, and that you, the TCW fans, would always cheer my name and have my back no matter what. I realize now that that was selfish of me to think that I didn't need to earn your respect night in and night out. I realize now that what I miss even more than holding that belt is being your champion, a champion you deserve, a champion that appreciates everyone who buys a ticket, an Aaron Andrews t-shirt, or even just tunes in every week at home. I realize now that even after I'm through with Joshua Taylor this weekend, I'm coming for the TCW World title. Andrews drops the mic and gets on the turnbuckle to celebrate with the crowd. Yep, he's making his intentions known. He's letting us know that his plan is he's going to beat Josh Taylor and then go after the title. We'll see how that goes, but man, ooh, I don't even think we've had like a 78. Maybe I think was our highest rate. We'll check. We'll check after this and see what our highest rated segment was. But man, hopefully that helps we keep it up. All right. Not bad. In a decent wild brawl, Chris Flynn defeated Bradford Peveril in 8:29 by submission with a flintlock. Peveril makes his entrance first, but is shoved to the ground from behind by Flynn, who proceeds to kick Peveril down the ramp and whip him into the steel steps. Referee Ray Johnson slides out of the ring and shoos Flynn off before checking to see if Peveril can continue as we go to commercial. Back from break, and the match has started, but Peveril is still feeling the effects of the sneak attack and is essentially just getting punched and tossed around the ring. Flynn gets Peveril up for a big powerbomb looking to end things, but Peveril punches him in the head repeatedly and reverses the powerbomb into a sit-out face buster. Peveril jumps onto the down Flynn for a pin, who kicks out at 1. Peveril stays on him, throwing as many strikes as he can. He knocks Flynn silly with a back elbow. Flynn reels back, Peveril steps in for another shot, but Flynn turns Peveril inside out with a clothesline. Both men down, the ref starts to count to 10. Up at 5, Peveril goes to lift Flynn up, but gets hit with a body shot, a forearm to the face, before Peveril is lifted up on Flynn's shoulders and driven down with the huge powerbomb he was trying to get earlier. Flynn shakes off the cobwebs and locks in the flintlock. 66 rating, very hot crowd. Flynn had a 61 performance. Definitely think he's going to be somebody we have to start putting against our better workers in getting some good ratings. Grab a drink real quick, y'all. Alrighty. In a decent match, Benny and the Fox defeated Goya and Kamamura in 6:31 when Benny Benson pinned Diego Goya with a shockwave from next year. Not bad, y'all. All right, that's a better rating than I thought this would get for a short match. The brisk matchup begins with the veterans in control. Kamamura hits a roundhouse kick on Benson out of nowhere early on, and it looks like an upset may be in order for a moment. Benson is able to tag in Fox shortly after, and from there, the pattern of Goya and Kamamura throwing kicks and punches only for Fox to use his agility and ring savvy to miss getting hit each time. He gasses out Goya. Kamamura runs in and tries to even things up, but Fox drop kicks him out of the ring. Fox tags in Benson. They hit a double atomic drop, stereo super kicks, and Benson pins Diego Goya with the shockwave from next year. I actually kind of want to go and check the dirt sheet on this and see. Because, the tag experience, commentary, I think that's going to help us out a lot this time, which is funny because I feel like in the 2020, we kind of got dinged for our commentary quite a bit. Yeah, but again, we talked about it last episode, the penalty for not being able to use high-risk moves. Yeah, we're definitely going to look into that at some point. Maybe even just test it out for I might create a second, double up a save and try doing the next card without, copy the save, bring it over, do the card without having those restrictions on the high risk moves and see how much it changes things. Because, if it changes it to where it's just super good ratings all the time, I don't really want to do that because that's kind of cheesing it, I feel. But if it brings it up a few points, I think it feels in line with, the story that we're going for and the type of product that we are using. All right. It's now time for our sit-down face-to-face interview conducted by Jason Azaria featuring Greg Gage and Jay Cord. The two workers are sat in folding chairs on either side of Azaria, who opens things up asking Cord what legacy means to him. Cord tells him it means he was born better than everybody else, and his obligation to use his God-given talents and abilities to be the greatest of all time. Gage laughs, See, you think you can just show up and you wrestle circles around everyone. You're right, Jay, you do have God-given talent and ability, but that none of that means anything when you don't put the work in. You treat your matches like a formality. Azaria cuts him off and tells them they promise to keep things civil and they'll each get the chance to talk. He talks to Greg about his father. Gage goes on to say that he and Papa Keith didn't always see eye to eye, but he taught me how to be a man, and just he taught me what it meant to be a man, and you know, taught me the ropes about the literal ropes about being in the ring. Um, but Jay Cord cuts him off. He obviously taught your brother better. Just how does it feel knowing that you were never Dad's favorite? You changed your name and patterned your whole career about making it on your own just so you could make Daddy proud. Gage stands up quickly, and Cord follows suit. The two stand nose to nose and continue trash talking each other. Azaria tries to step in between them, but Gage obviously strikes a nerve with Cord as Champ shoves Gage, incidentally knocking Azaria to the ground. The production crew step in to check on Azaria and break the two up. Champ and Challenger yell at each other from across the room as the segment ends. That's interesting, y'all. We only had a 70. It lost heat, but we used the angle idea. It was a success. Does it let us know? Bonus for successful angle idea. It does let us know that. Okay. So lots of bonuses, but only a 70. All right. Sorry, y'all. I'm feeling a bit stuffy this morning, so I'm trying to keep hydrated. All right. We got a good match coming up next, or at least it should be. No. Ooh, Sammy Bach was really off his game. In a bout that had great heat and decent wrestling, Sammy Bach defeated Human Arsenal in 15-12 by submission with a back on your back. The two TCW legends and friends shake hands before locking up. Arsenal swivels behind Bach and tries to get him up for a mat slam, but Bach rolls Arsenal into a seated position with a head oh my god headlock takedown. He goes to penalty kick Arsenal's back, who lays down, dodging the attack. Sammy goes for a standing elbow drop, but Arsenal rolls out of the way and gets to his feet. He charges at Bach, who nails him with a back body drop. He celebrates to the crowd, but Arsenal dusts himself in the meantime. Sammy turns around and eats a few quick jabs from Arsenal, who then tosses Bach into the ropes. Sammy holds on instead of bouncing off of them. Arsenal charges full speed and clotheslines Bach out of the ring. He takes a nasty spill, and the ref starts to count to 10 as we go to break. Back from commercial, Arsenal is working over Sammy on the ground, pulling both of Bach's arms behind himself, wrenching even harder every so often. He slams Bach's upper back down onto the mat, and he picks back up and slams him with a snap suplex. Arsenal floats over and goes for the pin, but barely gets a two. He picks up Sammy again and goes back to the quick jabs. One particularly flush shot sends Sammy backwards, but when Bach lifts his head back up, he begins to pump his arms up and down, motioning to the crowd to get loud. Arsenal punches him in the face again, but Bach continues to pump himself up. Another punch thrown, but Bach catches it. Lands 3 huge punches of his own, momentarily dropping Arsenal. Arsenal charges, but Sammy drops down and nails a jumping forearm when Arsenal rebounds from the ropes. A huge springboard crossbody knocks down a barely recovered Arsenal a second time. Sammy hits a standing elbow drop and gets a 2 count. Bach stands Arsenal up and goes to hit a discus elbow, but Arsenal shoves him into the corner before he can connect. He charges and spears Bach into the corner, rolling him onto his back on the mat. Arsenal gets up to the second rope, unfamiliar territory for him these days. Arsenal then thinks briefly and takes one more step up to the top rope. Unsteady, he goes for a dive and is drop kicked out of midair by Bach, who then locks in the back on your back for the win. Yeah, could have been better on that one, definitely. Let's see, working with. Odd face. Oh, because they're both faces. I wish that was not like that, but you could turn that off just for tournaments. It's lame. Because I think we have another face versus face matchup at some point in the tournament. But hopefully the work's a little bit better. I'm not going to worry about that one too much. Go ahead and jump forward. Nice. Not a bad segment. Good 5-minute angle. Jason Azaria catches up to Joshua Taylor, who is stomping around and throwing trash cans backstage. Taylor grabs the mic as soon as Azaria approaches and wildly claims, Aaron Andrews, you dare think you can look past me? You want to talk about going for gold? That's going to be hard after Sunday, because not only am I going to win and send you to the back of the line, I'm going to break your arm and put you on the shelf. Mark my words. Segment gets a 69. Not too bad. Pretty nice. Ugh. Up next, we get a training video from T-Bone Bright. He's seen running bleachers, wearing a weighted vest, lifting in the gym, and running drills in an empty warehouse. T-Bone is in the best shape of his life, ready to take the next step. 64. Very hot crowd. Think this next match might cool him a little bit. Not bad, honestly. And a decent match. Elliot Thomas defeated Jeremy Courtney in 6:26. That might be the trick, is putting these, like, our better workers in longer matches. In as much as it's going to be hard to fill out the shows, but I think we need to do some shorter matches with our older guys and just put them all like 10 minutes or less. Elliot Thomas looks to get back on track after a shock loss to the debuting Elvis Blackfriar a few weeks back. When you're facing Jeremy Courtney, that's not too hard. Courtney gets in a few shots early, but it's all Elliot from there on out. Thomas makes quick work of Courtney and picks up a win with the quiet down. Yeah, not bad. Jeremy Courtney actually had better in-ring work than Elliot Thomas. Interesting. 58. Let's move on. Ew, even worse. In a bout that had decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling, Roger Remus defeated Duke Freeman by 7:35 by pinfall with a brainbuster suplex. Remus and Freeman start chain wrestling to start. Freeman gains the upper hand and locks in a guillotine choke on Remus, who responds by stomping on Freeman's foot to break the hold, and pokes Freeman in the eyes before taking a victory lap and soaking in the booze. Freeman shoots and takes Remus to the ground. Freeman goes to mount him, but Remus pulls free and pulls himself over to the ropes and under the bottom rope to safety. He stands up on the apron as Freeman closes in and reaches out for his opponent. Remus grabs his outstretched arm and drops down, racking Freeman's arm on the top rope. He then hits a springboard lariat from back into the ring, and from there Freeman can barely get any momentum back at all. The match ends after that brainbuster suplex. Yeah, Remus had a 56, Freeman had a 37. Crowd's starting to calm down. Let's hope we can get him back up. We have a couple angles before the main event. Segment gets a 56 overall. Man, they've just gone down like 58, 56, 54. Ugh. The main event, celebrating ring with Roger Remus like he's won gold medal. Huggins puts Remus on his shoulders once the group is at ringside, and they parade Remus around. Pause to get in the young fan's face, and Divine Fortune pop out from behind and hop the barricade. Fortune shoves Huggins, toppling him and Remus, while Divine lays into Hawking. They beat on him for a while, but the main event leg it up the ramp before more damage can be done. Segment gets a 54. Alright, y'all. One angle, one match left. We need this angle to be good to get the crowd white hot for this main event. Keep it going. Keep things looking good on this episode. Yes. I think that's our two best angles in this episode. I think we might finally start to get in the hang of things. Alright, y'all. We might be off to the races. Wolf Hawkins has stood alone outside the Syndicate's locker room. T-Bone, you want to sit there and talk about how hard you worked to get to the top and how I had everything handed to me? You're right. I did have an easier road to the top to you. That's because I'm better than you. I am the prototype that wrestlers for a generation will come to model themselves after. I am the past, the present, and the future of TCW. You're right about one thing, though. If I lose, it doesn't hurt my legacy one bit. But if you win, it would mean everything to you, which is exactly why I'm not going to let that happen. This Sunday, I'm taking the big dog out back and putting him out of his misery. Wolf Hawkins enjoyed the Freedom to Gloss script and performed well. The segment got an 80. Alright, y'all, it's main event time. We got Aaron Andrews facing off against Quentin Queen. A little warm-up match for the former champ Aaron Andrews. Getting ready for his match against Joshua Taylor. Lost in the tag match a couple weeks ago. The two they make their entrance to the ring, and the two start off very evenly matched until Queen is able to hit a float over neckbreaker, going for a quick victory, but only getting a 1 count. Andrew's championship aspirations seem to be slipping through his fingers as Queen follows up with a volley of strikes and a Michinoku driver, but it's only good for one this time. Queen rises back to his feet. Andrews kips up and signals Queen to bring it. But when Queen runs at him and Andrews leapfrogs, stands still and backslides over Queen on the rebound. Queen's momentum carries him into the ropes and back one more time where he's met with a tilt-a-whirl slam. Andrews gets a quick one count. Back on their feet, Andrews kicks Queen in the gut and gets him in the position for a pile driver. He pulls him up once, but Queen reverses it, getting Andrews up on his back and hitting a big Alabama slam and a knee drop over to the head of Andrews and is able to take over. Things are finally starting to slow down. We had all those quick pinfall attempts. Queen batters Aaron from one side of the ring to the other, delivering so many chops that Andrews' chest that it turns beet red. Finally backing him into the corner, Queen gets Andrews up, seated on the top turnbuckle, and climbs up for the superplex. Andrews slides down between his legs and carries Queen halfway across the ring on his shoulders before planting him with a sit-out powerbomb. 1, 2. Queen kicks out and uses the momentum to flip positions with Andrews. 1, 2. Andrews kicks out so hard that it knocks Queen to the ground, too. Both men get to their feet, and a back-and-forth brawl kicks off. Andrews is too much for his opponent, though, and ends the match with a flying body press. Great heat, good wrestling. 15:09 by pinfall. 78 segment rating. Think this might have been our best show yet, guys. Actually, I'm like almost guarantee. Awesome. Yeah, Aaron Andrews picks up the win. No post match segment. Just kind of ended things, starting and ending with the match this week. Let's go ahead and see what our score is. 77. Let's go ahead and finish up. That is definitely our best show. No injuries, financial report. We made money. Surprise. Popularity recap. We stayed the same in America. We're going to have to, hopefully this pay-per-view, I think we're going to get some ratings for it. So maybe that'll knock us back up to 75 at least. We're gaining traction in Canada, which is exactly what I wanted. CWA's roster is no joke. They're definitely gonna, it even says in the game bios and in some of the game write-ups that they're thinking it's a big four now. That CWA is part of the big four, and they have a better roster than us at the moment. So we're gonna have to push. No media scrum. All right, guys. I want to double check and see what our best rated segments have been real quick. Shouldn't take too long to fast forward through this. But if you guys are still watching at this point, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, I'd definitely appreciate it. That's, especially with small YouTube channels and stuff like this, it lets me know that you guys are interested. That, comments, likes, lets me know you guys are engaged. Lets me know that you guys are enjoying what you're seeing. And if there's stuff that you would be enjoying more or not enjoying at all, let me know. I mean, post in the comments. I'm definitely not above, critique or changing things up based off of what everybody wants to see. All right, let's see no, I don't want top 100s. That's what I want. Top 100 events, yep. Matches. Damn, that was our best match so far. Quentin Queen and Aaron Andrews. Does it show angles? No, it doesn't show angles. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that was... Here, we can just find that out and show history. 84. See if we see anything higher. No. Nope. Nope. Yeah, we had like our 3 best segments all this week. We're cooking with gas now, guys. All right. Again, thanks for watching. Appreciate all the love on the videos so far. And we will see you guys in a couple of days for Malice in Wonderland, our first pay-per-view.